take a photo of you with your accreditation? So if you just hold that up there for me. Thank you. Don't worry, it's just the TV.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, hang on a second.
I have a pretty long intervention because of lots of results.
Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome everyone to our press conference, Digital Innovation Pavilion and GloCha COP29 recap. My name is Miroslav Polzer, and I'm the founder and CEO of IAAI GloCha. It's the International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global Challenges. And as the name already says, we are here to bring new ideas and new solutions to the global collaborative effort for climate action. And I'm joined here on the panel by our colleagues from Evercity, Alexei Shadrin and Andrei Chicherin, and our GloCha partners, Gail Davis-Carter and Tim Damon, and Elena Lopez-Gun is going to join us later. She is also an EU Climate Pact ambassador. Brief information about my organization. It's the International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global Challenges, and we are a UN-accredited civil society organization based in Klagenfurt in Austria. We are building the Global Challenges Action Empowerment Ecosystem, GloCha, with culture, technology, and organizational innovation. And in terms of contributing to the process, to the UNFCCC process, to Paris Agreement, Paris goals implementation, our main contribution is this year the Digital Innovation Pavilion. And it's, it's a space where digital solution providers can come and present their solutions and interact with global climate governance community and with global climate action community. And we believe that with this kind of space and this kind of interaction, there can be a lot of implementation power added to the UNFCCC process. And we are going to have more about later perhaps, but let's now come to Alexei Shadrin, Evercity and Climate Change Coalition. Please, Alexei, tell us about the Digital Innovation Pavilion.
Of course. Thank you so much, Miroslav. Thank you so much, everyone who came here today. It's one of the last events at COP29 in Baku. My name is Alexei Shadrin. I'm CEO and co-founder of Evercity, a company which provides digital climate finance infrastructure to accelerate climate finance in the developing world. And I also wear several hats. One of my hats is the Climate Change Coalition founding member. And we created the Climate Change Coalition in 2017 in order to unite all the innovators that develop digital innovations for climate and sustainable development. And this is now a global organization, official UN Observer organization. And this organization, as well as GloCha, as well as Evercity and other partners, creates and brings the Digital Innovation Pavilion to COP29 Blue Zone already for the third year in a row. And this is a space where innovators can meet with the policymakers, with other members of the UNFCCC process, and showcase their solutions, show what they have been doing throughout the year to bring us closer to the achievement of the Paris Agreement and Sustainable Development Goals. This year, we had tremendous success, and the Pavilion hosted more than 50 events, more than 150 speakers that covered a lot of interesting topics, including AI and localization of climate action, cities and data, oceans and the blue economy, culture, youth engagement, finance and carbon markets. We also had regional focus this year on Africa and Brazil, of course. And the Pavilion was happening because of support of our great partners. And the partners, of course, the main partners are GloCha, EverCity, and Climate Change Coalition. But for the third year in a row, we are blessed to have HBAR Foundation as a partner and supporter of the Pavilion, as well as SAP and KPMG. We had a new partner from the African continent this year, which is a Fraxim Bank. And what is new this year is we had very constructive and deep engagement with the presidency. We had Digital Innovation Agency of Azerbaijan supporting the Pavilion and providing their views on innovations. We also had a fruitful participation with the UN Climate Champions team, which was also really, really, really great. We had lots of announcements, and one of them is the launch of the $100 million US Ocean Fund and collaboration with party members, with nation states. This year it's new because before digital innovation topic was not on the top priority agenda, but this year we had ministers, we have ministries, we have parties coming, engaging, presenting their digital innovation strategies, and we want to highlight special partnerships that will bring us also to Brazil. It's a partnership with Mongolia and partnership with Uganda. So we see that, there is diverse agenda, diverse countries, continents, but everyone is united by the digital innovation agenda. On the investors' perspective, for the first time, we had VCs and the panel around VC investments in climate technologies that can help to bring private sector investments and also help to bridge the pre-financing gap for climate technologies and startups. And also, I want to end my intervention with an announcement that my company EverCity is making. So since we're the infrastructure for climate finance, we're helping projects in developing countries to raise climate financing with outstanding transparency, traceability, using blockchain, using other digital automated tools. And one of the projects from Uganda that is planting a bamboo forest and also native species and giving jobs to the local communities has passed through the digital workflow, digitizing every part of the data, creating the project design document automatically using digital tools, and issuing carbon forwards on the blockchain. There are around 50,000 tons of CO2 now available as carbon forwards on the blockchain, available for the buyers, and this marks a new step in this process because these forwards are fully transparent and they can be traced to the very beginning. Every action, every data point is transparent, and we hope that from there will be much more projects that will benefit from this outstanding transparency, and investors would really value this approach. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alexei. And now to Andrei Chicharin, who is also EverCity team member, a former team member, official from the Green Climate Fund. Some perspectives from your side on the systemic potentials of digital innovation for climate action empowerment, especially the finance part. And the Ocean Climate Fund is also welcome to be mentioned.
Thank you, Miroslav. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm member of the founding team of the Ocean Climate Fund. My name is Andrei Chicharin. I'm happy to see you all here at this moment. We are finalizing this COP with very good offtake from the from the discussions and events that happen around this venue, including Digital Innovation Pavilion. My sincere gratitude to Miroslav and his team for being the cradle of the Ocean Climate Fund, pioneering and innovative financing structure where we unite communities, technologies, and finance to support resilience and climate mitigation action in the coastal areas as well as the high seas. This is a very valuable part of our planet of which nobody takes care of, and we are hoping that with some time our small baby will transform itself into the financial whale that will be utilizing innovative financing structure, support of multilateral financial institutions like the Green Climate Fund and other climate funds, and of course decentralized financing approach that will help us all on one hand commit and contribute to the support of the climate change action, but at the same time have the benefit of our investment in our planet and into our future. I sincerely believe that this united action is a valuable, even if not tangible, but nevertheless real outcome of this event. And in that sense, I definitely would like to say a few words of thanks to Azerbaijan, because today we are standing on this beautiful bridge of hope, bridge of cooperation, and bridge of United Nations that transatlantically links us to Brazil. And today we are saying goodbye to Baku, but we are saying hello to Brazil. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Andrei. And so this was the part about the Digital Innovation Pavilion, and just a brief outlook also on the thematic focus also for next year. With our organization, we are partnering also with the UN Geospatial Information Network, the One Map initiative, and we are adding a citizen science component, community level data collection, and we believe that localization of climate action and the use of emerging technologies to have a better understanding of who is doing what type of climate action where and how and with what kind of activities and impact, this will help us to be more effective in multi-stakeholder climate action coordination and incentivization. And with this, we are now coming to the second part of this press conference to talk briefly about GloCha, this Global Challenges Action Empowerment ecosystem that we are building. We see here at the COP29 the limitations of the national governments-based process. The UNFCCC process, we've heard here in the previous press conferences that there's a lot of dissatisfaction from civil society about the level of ambition and action by national governments, and it's the belief of our organization that we have to be creative. We have to envision and build complementary structures to the United Nations system in which multi-stakeholder engagement will function better. And this is what we are building with GloCha. And we have partners like Creators 2030. Gail is with us. Please tell a few words about how you see the role of a creative community in the UNFCCC process and in global challenges action in general.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gail Davis Carter, and I am the Executive Director of the Creators 2030 UN SDG Arts, Youth, and Sports and Global Citizen Initiative. I am part of the GloCha family. So we want to know about creativity. Raise your hand if you love music. I want everyone to raise their hand if they love music. Okay, raise your hand if you love film or sculpture, any kind of arts. Raise your hand, please. Okay, so you use that to uplift you. GloCha is doing many things, from geospatial, okay, to dealing with oceans, to dealing with all 17 SDGs. Why is GloCha important? GloCha is important because it's bringing together people on the local level to the global level. And that's really good because they don't just bring people together, but they connect people together, and not just to talk, but to look at the solutions in the community by the community itself. How does art play a big part in this? Artists have to be paid. That's where I come in. There are many people doing it in this space, but our team has been doing this since '98. I started with Quincy Jones, who, God rest his soul, has just passed recently. And what art does is and creative professionals do is they provide a bird's eye view into the things that we're feeling. They can communicate messages out there. They can also work with scientists to create sculptures that will grow coral reefs at the bottom of the oceans. There are many things, and when we think about artists, we tell our children, oh, don't become an artist because you won't get paid well. No, let's tell our children to become artists, give them a seat at the table with governments, NGOs, and so forth, and show them how to work with NGOs so that everyone not only is paid well, but we solve the issues that are going on. Miroslav Polzer has actually come up with a really amazing product, okay, that each one of you can actually use. Citizen science, where citizens come together and tell their stories. That goes from qualitative to quantitative. And the artists can come together with this and work with you. I'm an artist myself in a different way, and I also have an initiative where we have fulfilled on the SDGs almost 85% across 5 countries and 4 continents, again, part of the GloCha family. So this is what the GloCha family offers. It's a platform in which you will be able to build yourself out, to not just tell your story, but share what's going on in your community. And so that's really, I don't have a lot more to say than join GloCha, check out GloCha, okay? Go to GloCha's YouTube channel, take a look at what you can learn. And artificial intelligence with the arts, yes, it will help the arts, but it will help people who are also non-artists create arts in a way that you haven't before. With regard to the arts, I think it's important that we keep the arts intact with integrity. And as a result, because of being with Miroslav and with the UN as well, I want to share about the 18th goal we introduced in 2017 that we're hoping will become a part of the UN SDGs. It's Arts for Life and Planet. It is well known through a lot of people around the world, and it's been out in the news. And I say that, and I just want you guys to see 18th, because with Miroslav, this is what he offers his partners. And all of you can be a partner. All of you can sign up and talk with GloCha. All of you can tell what's going on in your communities so that citizen science becomes not a dream, but it becomes your reality too. And you become partners with it. So for you young people, listen in to everything that you're hearing. It's really good because you can also be a part of citizen science and share what's going on in your world with Mr. Miroslav Polzer. So that's GloCha. Thank you very much. And you can find the Creators 2030 across any platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gail, for this uplifting messages. It's really, there is hope, and culture, music, creative expression is the most beautiful avenue to really mobilize hard power to inspire people for collaborative action, and thanks for being part of the GloCha family. Another member of the GloCha family, Timothy Damon, is with the Global Youth Development Institute and with the education, communication, and outreach stakeholder community within the UNFCCC process. Tim, please, some of your perspectives on COP29 and the importance of youth engagement and youth empowerment.
Well, yes, thank you, Miroslav, and it's always a pleasure to be here in this amazing community of so many diverse perspectives and skill sets. You know, my skill set is more on the engagement in the negotiation side of things and empowering young people to meaningfully participate in that process, and also to see how they can implement action for climate empowerment back at home and at the country level in their communities. And what we really see coming out of this COP is that we need more systemic innovation in terms of the structures and the systems and the financial flows that are really going to be necessary to accelerate climate action to the pace that we need according to the science. And this is actually now my 11th COP, so I've been involved in this process a little longer than I'd like to admit at this point. But we see that while there is progress, it is very slow and very incremental. So I do want to highlight there was a good development out of the negotiations here for ACE, but that was as a comeback to having made zero progress on that issue in COP28, so last year in Dubai. So sort of an entire year was lost in order to get to that good outcome, which was a text that is also only helping to build more momentum toward another negotiation that will happen in 2026. So it's not that there isn't any progress happening from the national governments, but obviously we can't keep waiting on them to catch up and start doing the things that we need to do in terms of putting structures and systems in place. So it really is incumbent upon all of us as the civil society and all the different stakeholders to make sure that we are the ones driving that change forward and setting the example for the governments, and then hopefully they will get to the place where they catch up, because we still need the decisions out of this process. We still need national policies that help to create the enabling environment, but we can't wait on them. So some of the structures that we know that we really need to innovate would be having more of a centralized platform for this community of all of us trying to work on action for climate empowerment. If you look at, you want to look up, what's being done on ACE in my country? You don't have an easy place to go and access that information. And not even all of the countries yet have what is called an ACE national focal point, which has been a recommendation out of this process for more than 10 years. And we still only have about 70% of the countries that have someone in that role. And for many of those, that person is not necessarily very effective yet. There's also been, for many years now, the recommendation of having these ACE national strategies. And we still see that this is something that hasn't been taken up yet among very many countries. There's a few, but not on a systemic level. And of course, to be talking about the youth, they're doing too much of their work for climate action voluntarily. And youth and youth NGOs cannot access, for example, the Green Climate Fund or the GEF or a lot of these other structures. And so some of that systemic innovation that we need when it comes to finance would be to also help to create funding streams which are accessible and empowering to young people. And a necessary component of that would also be an incubator aspect, so that you are empowering the young people, arming them with the skills that they need for green jobs, for taking action on all the different facets of climate change that we need to address, because not all of the young people are in a place yet where they can write a strong project proposal that would be worthy of getting funding, even if that funding were available, or they can't make an NGO because of the barriers in their country to being able to formalize a legal entity. So we need to get creative as well to overcome that problem in terms of having other ways of creating legal entities or entirely new entities that don't exist yet but are enabled through new technologies that overcome that barrier, so you can still have verifiable projects and accountability and oversight of projects, but in a way that is accessible to everyone. And of course, not only youth, but everyone in civil society, because that really is the core message of ACE, which goes all the way back to 1992. You'll find it in Article 6 of the Convention. We've known that we can't solve the climate crisis without every person involved, and yet we still see that there is so much marginalization of communities and people, and so much difficulty in being able to move this forward. So really we see ACE and as well ECOS, the education, communication, and outreach stakeholders community. So if you're working on ACE in this kind of space, please come up to us. We can help you to join that. And of course, all the amazing work that GloCha and the GloCha family is doing. This is us working together, building that community that is going to get the tangible solutions that we need. And we know that we need ACE, and we're doing it. We're going to keep doing it, and we know that the process will catch up to us eventually.
Thank you very much, Tim, for your great systemic analysis of the needs. And we are building this solution. It's not that we are planning or envisioning or so. We are really determined to set up the mechanism that young people, micro-action will have the connection to global funds like the Green Climate Fund. And Now to Elena Lopez-Gun, iCatalyst and EU Climate Pact Ambassador. I've invited Elena because she's very creative as the curator of programs in the Spanish pavilion, but also because this EU Climate Pact concept is a public sector innovation where citizens themselves nominate or apply to be ambassadors, and they commit to concrete action, and this is the future. We should not always wait for the national governments, and if they don't do it, being said, we have to take action ourselves and re-envision the public space. And Elena, please share your perspectives.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miro, for inviting me. I mean, I was very privileged or very lucky to participate, and also in the digital hub pavilion, and also building bridges across pavilions. You know, because I participated in yours, and you came to visit ours, which was great. Yeah, I just wanted to briefly mention, you know, that we're talking about 1,000 climate pact ambassadors across the European Union, and I have seen the power of citizen action. So, for example, one of the things that the EU is, I think it is public innovation. For example, what I presented at the pavilion when I visited Miro is a manual that has been developed as part of the mission adaptation. And it's a manual for regions and local authorities about how they can really engage their citizens, you know, because, you know, as it was just mentioned, you know, without citizens, you know, we really will not get there. And, you know, I think, for example, I was able to pull on this network to get brilliant speakers, for example, for our pavilion. For example, and again, because of the network, for example, you know, thanks to them, I was able to get a young, someone from my team, a youth, you know, because they helped, for example, with the accreditation, which was difficult. So, you know, this ambassador, for example, he's in the south of Spain with Fundación Sustenta, and he's really talking about the value of viral kind of positive tipping points socially. But I'll just give one example so you can understand how I'm not just talking about fiction. I saw it when we had the floods in Spain. I saw how the network activated immediately, and a local climate pact ambassador from Valencia, who lived 1 kilometer away from where the floods had happened, activated another climate pact ambassador that had basically an NGO exactly where the floods had happened, and then another climate pact ambassador from the south of Spain mobilized a lorry to take, you know, help for that region, and then another climate pact ambassador was engaging with the media constantly to mobilize the volunteers, while another climate pact ambassador was actually because she was actually used to work in the commission in the, basically was able to communicate with the BBC, with the media, what was going on from the perspective of people activating in the face of, in this case, a disaster that we do know was highly impacted because of climate change. I mean, we know now the World Attribution Center is saying that this event was much more extreme because of climate change. You know, we see the footprint of climate change. And these are people, we're talking about Juan, Jose Antonio, Carla, Carmen, you know, Jesus, you know. So I think just to show that it can happen, and GloCha, I think, again, would be a great platform that we can actually build on, so this kind of loose, qualitative energy can be channeled and then, basically upscaled. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Elena, for this story of really citizen power, citizens taking action, and there is hope. So we have time for one question. Please.
Hi, my name is Audrey from Burundi. I'm one of the environmentalists in this country. My question is this. All the electronics waste from Europe go to Ghana, and we see the absence of the high representatives from USA, Canada, France, and other leading European countries. What is your opinion about it?
Okay, thank you very much for this question, but I'm not so sure if there is an answer to this. Gail, you would like to?
So,
20 seconds, quickly.
yes, so I just want to say to you, you don't need to worry about the absence of them because they are working hard behind the scenes. So I think look at it from that point of view. Some people have not traveled that far over, but they are working behind the scenes and know that they are supporting in some way. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this positive message at the end. Please stay connected, look up the GloCha hashtag. It's an emerging ecosystem, but it's going to be big, and see you again in Bonn at the Intersessional and then in Belém. Thanks, our panelists.